Alright, this is section 1.3, part 1, order of operations. So our next section is order of operations, which you probably have seen before in the past, whether you remember it or not. For order of operations, you probably learned a phrase. The phrase was, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Okay. I'm sure that once I started that, most of you could finish it. Okay, so our saying here stands for the order of operations. It tells us what order to do and what each one is. So the P here stands for parentheses. Okay. Our E here is going to be exponents. M stands for multiplication. D is division. A is addition. And S is subtraction. Okay. We need to know that when we do multiplication and division, it happens together. Okay, from left to right. Same thing with addition and subtraction. I don't do all my addition and then go through and do all my subtraction. I'm going to do them as they occur from left to right. So here's our steps. First, step 1. We're going to do operations that occur within parentheses. So anywhere that we see parentheses, we're going to figure out what is inside the parentheses first. Okay. Then once we're done with that, then we evaluate exponents. Okay. So any exponents, we're going to do those next. Then we're going to do multiplication and division from left to right. So as I said, we don't just go do all the multiplication and then all the division. We do multiplication and division together as they happen from left to right. Okay, same thing with addition and subtraction. To finish out, we're going to do addition and subtraction again from left to right. So notice that these last two occur together. Okay, I do a multiplication and division together and addition and subtraction together. Okay, they're not two separate processes. So there really are only 4 steps to order of operations and not 6. Alright, so let's try some basic problems here. Alright, first one. So, remember our order of operations. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Remembering that multiplication and division happen together and addition and subtraction happen together. So when I look at number 1, I don't have any parentheses, I don't have any exponents. So I'm going to skip right to multiplication and division. Okay? So I do see division. I have 6 divided by 3. If I do that first, 6 divided by 3 is 2. And then I bring down everything that I haven't dealt with yet. I haven't done anything with the plus, and I haven't done anything with the 15. Okay. Then I move on to my next step, which is addition and subtraction. I do have an addition sign, so that happens next. 15 plus 2 is 17. Okay. Making sure that I'm going in the same order, the same process every time. So number 2, no parentheses, no exponents. So I'm going to start with multiplication and division. Okay, so 16 divided by 4 happens first. 16 divided by 4 is 4. And then I bring down everything I haven't dealt with yet. I haven't done anything with minus 2. Okay, then addition and subtraction. So I'm going to do my subtraction next. 4 minus 2 is 2. Okay, notice how I'm putting marks here showing what I'm doing. Okay, so when I do 16 divided by 4, I show a little mark here, and then I write my answer under it. Then I'm doing 4 minus 2, I'm making a mark, I'm writing my answer under it. Same thing with problem number 1, with 6 divided by 3, and 15 plus 2. Okay, this will help to keep you organized. We do one step at a time. We don't try to do it all at once. The more you try to do together, the more likely you are to make a mistake. Okay, so problem number 3. When I look at problem number 3, I have no parentheses, but I do have an exponent. So that has to happen first. 8 squared, 8 times 8 is 64. Right, and I bring down everything I haven't done anything with yet. So I haven't done anything with times 2. Alright, so now that all my exponents are done, I move on to multiplication and division. I have multiplication here. 2 times 64 is 128. Okay, every time following the same process. Alright, let's try a couple more down here real quick. Alright, so let's write our thing again so we can see it. Please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. Remembering that multiplication and division happen together. Same thing with addition and subtraction. Okay, so number 4. I have no parentheses, but I do have an exponent, so that has to come first. 3 squared is 9. And I'm going to write down everything I haven't done anything with yet. So I'm going to keep the 2 and the plus 5. Now that I'm done with exponents, I move on to multiplication and division. I'm going to do my multiplication here. 2 times 9 is 18. And I bring down the plus 5 because I haven't done anything with it yet. Now I go move on to addition and subtraction, where I do my addition here. 18 plus 5 is 23. Okay. See how I'm going step by step and looking. Do I have any parentheses? Do I have any exponents? Let's finish up with number 6. So, I don't have any parentheses, but I do have an exponent, so we start there. 4 squared, 4 times 4 is 16. Make sure you're careful with that. I have a lot of kids that write 4 squared is 8. It does not mean 4 times 2, it means 4 times 4. And I write everything else left over. Right. Exponents are gone, I move on to multiplication and division. Now I have 2 here. I have division here, and I have multiplication here. The question is, which one do I do first? Well, I start on the left and I work my way right. So I'm not going to do the multiplication first, I'm going to actually do the division first. So 9 divided by 3 is 3. And I'm going to write down everything else that I have left over. Still multiplication here, so I'm going to do that next. 1 times 16 is 16. And then last, we're going to do our addition. So 3 plus 16 is 19. As long as you're careful with what you're doing and you're following your steps and you're careful with your math, this should all work out just fine. At this point, you're going to do section 1.3, checkpoint 1.